What is up, Scorpio? How are y'all doing? Bonus time. It's time for your May 2025 bonus reading. So, when I do bonus readings, what I'm looking for are details, situations, scenarios that were either missed, skipped over, or for whatever reason completely left out of the first round of monthly readings. So for those of you who are in need of a personal reading, you can find all the information in the description of this video. For those of you catching this on time, tomorrow, Sunday, April 27th, is going to be our next round of weekly live readings right here on this channel. You can pre-order anytime throughout the week on my website. $25. They are read every Sunday in the order of which they come in throughout the week. And as always, right now, the list of pre-orders is pretty small. So if you do order now, you will be at the front of the line. Also, remember, we've put more of our handmade crystal jewelry on my website. Most of it handmade by my wife and my daughter, some of it handmade by myself. And we got about another week, and my course on the steps to true healing is going bye-bye. May 1st, y'all. May 1st, that course goes bye-bye. I personally think that's a very important course, very important, and that's the main reason why I made it so cheap. Not sure when I'm going to get the chance to break that back out again. So the link is in the description of the video. And is there anything else? No, that's it. All right, let's jump into this. Starting these off with general messages. So, career, finance, friends, family, anything but romance. What are the general messages for Scorpio, universe? General messages for Scorpio. Woo-hoo. Ace of Cups. Starting something new here. Wheel of Fortune. Ooh, okay. So, this is interesting. I'm seeing actually a lot of stuff coming through here. I'm trying to figure out where to start. First of all, you have completed a karmic cycle. Okay? So whatever you've been going through here for the past 2 years, I want to say 2 years because just collectively, it seems like most people have been going through more challenges than they usually do over the past 2 years, since 2023. 2023 did something to the collective where most of us started tripping and stumbling and things started getting more difficult. Well, that cycle is coming full circle right now. Now, you have blessings headed your way. However, I think there's going to be unexpected twists and turns that come along with those blessings. Like whatever it is you've been working towards. Let me give you an example. Let's say you've been working really hard on building a business on TikTok, for example. Been working really hard, really hard. And it just hasn't been working out for you. And then right when you least expect it, the universe comes in from left field and gives you an even better blessing that's unlike anything you even expected. You know, like you might, maybe your Facebook page blows up and goes viral. And you can apply to monetize that and start collecting a little Facebook check every month. You know, something, it could be anything. Maybe you're starting a network marketing business, you know, and it just isn't quite fucking working out right. And then the next thing you know, you end up stumbling along a better company with a better product, you know, and it's somehow there's going to be unexpected twists and turns. Major blessings coming, but I think it's going to take you by surprise. It's not going to quite be anything that you have expected, anything that you've planned for. But see, when the universe do it like that, it ends up better than what you thought it would be. Even better. And like, for example, let's say you've been working really, really hard at your workplace to get a promotion. You know, you're up next. You're the hardest fucking worker on the floor. And instead, you end up getting a job offer that pays way more than that fucking position would have paid. You see what I'm saying? Something to that effect is kind of what I'm seeing. Unexpected twists and turns. Okay, well, let's get some general advice for Scorpio. Let's get some general advice. General advice for Scorpio. It's time to start a new cycle. Time to start a new cycle. Let's see what else wants to come through. Hang on. So understand this. New cycles can almost always be scary and nerve-wracking. Almost always. An actual new cycle is more than just simply changing your job or changing your relationship status. Yeah, those are little cycles. But a new big cycle, a new big one that's come along with the cycle that's beginning Aries season 2025, which is already behind us. When you have a new big cycle, that everything is different. Everything. Everything in your life starts to twist, turn, and change, and you find yourself outside of your comfort zone in multiple areas of your life. Multiple. You might end up parting ways with people you've been close to for a very long time. You might end up attracting people into your life that aren't really the type of people you ever associated with, so you don't really know how to act. You might find yourself in situations that you never imagined yourself being in, you know? So don't fight the process. Don't fight the process of transformation. Now, this is the tricky part. This is really sensitive advice, so I always get nervous when I go to give this advice. Matter of fact, I was just telling Virgo this same thing. Learn to distinguish the difference between working towards something and fighting against the universe. Learn to distinguish that difference. Now, this is why this advice is so slippery and sensitive. I'm not saying don't do nothing. I'm not saying be lazy and kick your feet back. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is sometimes in order to make something happen, you got to dig your heels in and work hard. Sometimes when you dig your heels in and work hard, you're doing something the universe don't want you doing. So the reason it's not working out for you isn't because you need to work harder. It's because the universe is standing in the way saying, no, stop. This is not your path. Stop. How do I know? How can I determine the difference between when I need to work harder towards something and when I'm trying to take the wrong path? How do I make that distinction? Well, again, it's very idiosyncratic. But one of the first things that I look for is when the universe is trying to prevent you from doing something, the first thing you'll start to notice is that the things preventing whatever it is from happening that you're trying to make happen make no fucking sense. No sense. The universe will defy the laws of logic to prevent you from doing something you're not supposed to be doing. Like if you go to take a fucking road trip and that brand new car you just bought, just a few days ago, you rolled off the lot in that brand new car, had 10 miles on it. Yeah, I'm taking this on a road trip. We're going to go see the Grand Canyon. You know, you get on the road, the universe don't want you going to the Grand Canyon. Oh, don't underestimate the universe's ability to blow your goddamn head gasket on a brand fucking new ass car with 10 miles on it. Bet you. You don't think the universe can blow a head gasket on a brand new fucking car? Don't you underestimate the shit the universe can do. Now, one of the first reactions when stuff like that starts to happen is frustration and anger. And if you're a fixed sign like you or me, sometimes we can get angry and double down, right? Well, if you double down, the universe gonna triple down. And just learn when to step back and say, it don't really seem like the universe wants me doing this. It don't really seem like the universe is permitting me to walk through this door or take this path. Now that's tricky. That's very, very tricky, and that's a never-ending learning process. But yeah, so take that with you on your journey. That can be very helpful on your path. All right. Let's move on to the love portion. New person. Let's see what's happening between Scorpio and the new person. Newest person you just recently connected with, May 2025. What's happening? What's happening between Scorpio and the new person? Three of Wands. High Priestess. What's that all about? All right, last one. Knight of Pentacles. Three of Cups reversed. Knight of Cups reversed. Man, so far, I'm not going to lie, this just don't feel like you're connecting with this person very well at all. I would probably even go as far as to say that some of you may start leaning into just not even being interested in this person. I'm thinking so. For some of you, it may just kind of seem like it's starting off as a sex-based connection. Some of you could be dealing with somebody that struggles with addiction. Addiction, alcoholism, gambling, porno, food, something like that. But I think regardless, it's kind of starting off as a sex-based connection. I just don't think you all are forming a very tight connection. I don't think so. And I think they know that too. Kind of feels like they're more into you than you are them. I'm not going to lie. Not going to lie, man. Could be a Cancer for some of you. Also have Capricorn here. Taurus. Could be anybody. Those are just energies. But this doesn't look like a very solid, stable connection at all. This looks like a house of cards. No pun intended. You fart too hard, you might blow it over. Okay. Lots of pages in here. Pages and knights. I ain't got one king or queen here. Seven of Swords. I'm going to ignore that for now. We'll see if it comes out. Seven of Swords, Devil card. Moment of truth. Let's see their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions. New person Scorpio's dealing with. I didn't say Libra a minute ago, did I? For some reason, I got Libra running really loud in my head. I don't know, maybe some of y'all could be dealing with a Libra. But I don't know. If I said that, I didn't mean it. I'm casting Scorpio vibrations, damn it. Okay. I don't know if I said it or not. It's just real loud in my head right now. All right. New person Scorpio's dealing with. What's their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Say Empress reversed again. Emperor reversed. Could be an Aries or a Taurus for some of you. King of Pentacles reversed. Two of Swords. I don't think this person knows what in the hell they want. I don't think they're mature enough. Yeah, I think this person's too immature to settle down. I think so. They have a lot of insecurities, very low self-confidence, little to no self-esteem, and when it comes to actually committing, I just don't know if they're mature enough to commit. I know that may sound silly. It's easy to talk about commitment. It's easy to talk about it. But talking about it and doing the damn thing is two totally different things. It requires maturity, emotional intelligence, determination, consistency, right? Something that a lot of people, especially the younger crowd in today's day and age, is seriously lacking. They don't really know what they want. They don't know what they want. They very superficial, all about their money. You know, nothing wrong with money. I'm not saying that there's something wrong with money. But there is something wrong when you put money above everything else, you know. When I care more about money, material things, how other people perceive me, than my connections, my energy, my emotional connections, my relationships. You know, that's when it becomes a problem. I just don't think they're mature enough for you. I really don't. I really don't. I don't think they're very reliable. Okay? Page and a Knight. The kings and queens I have here are both reversed. Emperor and Empress are reversed. This person's not mature enough for you. They don't know what they want. Well, let's grab the advice. What's the advice for Scorpio? I'm still thinking Libra again. Why am I thinking Libra? I'm not saying that, am I? I don't know if I'm saying that or not, but it is so loud in my head right now. Scorpio. Let's get the advice for Scorpio. What's the advice for Scorpio with the new person? Card just fell in my lap. Ace of Wands. Boom! Empress reversed. Okay, well, all I'm going to say is this. How long should it take before you are 100% certain about where you want to take this connection? Like if you ain't really feeling it, if the vibe's a little bit off, how long should it take before the vibe starts feeling right? How long should that take? How long should that take? That's all I'm going to say there. Because honestly, I feel like your divine life partner is on the other side of this. It is on the other side of this. But I can't just blindly give you advice. You're not a vibrational match to your divine life partner until you are at a vibration where you're ready to make a decision for your own highest good, even a hard decision. That's why I'm not going to tell you what to do here. I'll tell you your divine life partner's on the other side of this, though. But if you're still at a place where you're not able to decipher whether or not to walk away from something based on the energy, you're not a vibrational match to your person anyways. You're not a match to that person anyways. By the time you become a vibrational match to your divine life partner, you will be so abundant from within, you won't just let any random Joe Blow or Jane Doe walk up into your life. You'll be very picky and choosy on the energy that you allow into your life. So that's all I'm going to say. Take that information and do with it what you will. All right. Now we're going to see what's coming in next for the singles. Single Scorpios. What's coming in next? Let me get some good vibes in the air real quick here, y'all. Get good vibes in the air and burn them like you just don't care. Get good vibes in the air and burn them like we just don't care. I hope I don't burn my hair. All right. Come on, man. There we go. India Temple Incense, one of my favorites. Song of India. India Temple Incense. YouTube's doing this stupid fucking mirror image bullshit now, so it may be hard to read. But I would recommend those of you who are a big fan of incense. I'm not getting paid to say that. I just think the shit smells real good. All right. Let's see what's coming in next for the singles. What's coming in next? For single Scorpios. What is coming in next for the single Scorpios? Ooh, Ace of Swords. That's good. Could be an air sign for some of you, but probably one of the first things you're going to notice is that you communicate with this person better than you've ever communicated with anybody you've ever connected with. Communication is on point between the two of you. Matter of fact, it's so on point that this is going to sound kind of counterproductive, but when communication is so good, verbal communication starts to become a little bit obsolete. Just a little bit. I know that may kind of sound weird, but the better me and you communicate, the less I need to say. I know that sounds so paradoxical. Let's see. Ooh, okay. What is this? 5 of coins, 5 of wands. So this person does have a fear of abandonment, a fear of rejection. They do kind of feel like you're a little bit out of their league and out of their reach. So they kind of got their guard up a little bit. Got their guard up a little bit. They just don't understand why you would want to be with somebody like them. They don't get it. what it kind of feels like is that whoever they were in a relationship with last destroyed their fucking self-esteem. Destroyed it. Completely destroyed it. Now, hey, anybody who's experienced that, my heart goes out to you. My thing is, though, it's still your responsibility to heal that shit. Because this person is very conflicted. Very conflicted deep down inside. They got a war waging on the inside. And when you don't heal that shit, next thing you know, you're going to start bleeding on people that didn't cut you. You're going to start taking it out on people that don't deserve it. And then that's how you go from being the victim to being the bad guy. Happens all the time. Innocent, well-intended person gets into a relationship and is completely and totally victimized. Treated like dog shit. You know? And they never heal from it. And they take those wounds into their next relationship. And then they become the bad guy. You see it happen all the time. Now, I don't want to get too ahead of myself here because I don't see anything that guarantees that that's happening. But I am seeing quite a bit of that energy here. Quite a bit of that energy. All right. Well, let me see their deepest feelings and intentions for you. How do they see you? How do they feel about you? What's their energy look like? What kind of person are they in general? Next person coming in for Scorpio. Whoa. What's their energy look like? What kind of person are they in general? Hey, they're ready to find their person. They hope that you're their person. Hang on. But unhealed trauma from the past. Yup. Unhealed heartbreak and trauma from the past. So, yeah. Looks pretty solid. I'm not going to lie. It looks pretty solid. They're ready to settle down with their life partner. They just can't for the life of them understand what you see in them. They don't understand it. They were probably with somebody that just talked to them like a dog. Told them, you know, you're ugly, you're stupid, nobody's ever going to want you, whoop, 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 whoop. And some people, especially some very weak-minded people, if they're exposed to that long enough, they can start believing it, you know? So, that kind of feels like a little bit of what's happening here. But I don't think that they have bad intentions. They want to settle down and build a life partnership. So, let's grab the advice. Because I don't need a tarot card to tell you what the outcome is going to be. If that energy's not put in check, that's going to slam into a brick wall at some point. What's the advice when the next person comes in for Scorpio? Again, I still got Libra screaming in my head. What's the advice for the next person coming in for Scorpio? What's the advice? Hey, there's the Libra card. How weird is that? Maybe it's a Libra for some of you. I don't know, man. Five of Swords reversed. Five of Wands reversed. Okay. Well, Again, sensitive advice, very sensitive. Just do the best you can to try to help this person work through this shit. But again, they have to let their guard down and allow you to help them work through it at the same time. And there's not a lot you can do about that, but there's a little bit. There is a little bit. This is so sensitive. Because when you're dealing with a person like this, one step to the right or the left can completely throw everything off track. You know? Here's the thing. Look, I get it. I think we all get it. We all know what it's like to have our self-esteem destroyed. You know? Be treated like shit. Talked to like a dog for no fucking reason. We all know what that's like. Now, it don't matter what you do. You can be a voice of encouragement, an ear to listen if they need to vent, a voice of reason, a voice of validation. You can give them all the reassurance. But if they're not working on how they view themselves, you can bend over backwards until your back breaks, doing everything you can to try to help lift their self-esteem. It's only going to contribute to maybe 10%. Only maybe 10%. So the trick is how to be there for a person like that, you know, but setting boundaries at the same time. Like, I will tell you that you're a fucking amazing person. You're very attractive. You're awesome. You're way better than that. But if you insist on not seeing yourself that way, I'm not going to fight to try to make you see the good in you. And I'm definitely not going to let you get addicted to the reassurance and the validation. I'm not playing that fucking game with you either. I will help you in every possible way that I can. But you got to be working on helping yourself. You got to be working on changing your own view of yourself. It's not my job, and I'm not getting sucked into that. I will do everything I can to let you know how much of an amazing fucking person you are. But if you don't want to see it, all right, well, fuck you then. I'm not going to fight that battle with you. That's sensitive. That's a real sensitive situation to be in. Don't ever let anyone lead you to believe that their self-esteem is your responsibility. Okay? It's not your job to make them feel better about themselves. You making them feel better about themselves or trying to, that's a privilege that you absolutely should do. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't do that. Absolutely, when you're with a partner, do everything you can to try to lift them up, to try to motivate them. You know, do everything you can to try to help make them as happy as possible. But that don't mean it's your goddamn job. And that don't mean it's your responsibility. No. So just make sure there's boundaries set in there. And make sure those boundaries are understood and respected. And as long as this person's working on healing their own shit, y'all be good. All right? All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Scorpio family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, the information for personal readings is right down here in the description. And don't forget, those of you catching this on time, tomorrow, Sunday, April 27th, is going to be our next round of weekly live readings right here on this channel. You know you can pre-order anytime throughout the week on my website. $25. Every Sunday, we read them in the order of which they come in. And as always, right now, the list of pre-orders is pretty small. So if you do order now, you will be at the front of the line. So All the information for that and everything else you need to know is right down there in the description. All right, y'all, I'm out of here. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.